Good morning, Dr. Gary here. We sell dental practices on the dental practice nationwide, and we are on the road again. So today's topic is what value is placed on a fully equipped dental office with no patients. So we'll get into that today, what the story is with that, and etc. Now, we now are in 25 states. We're excited. We have 10 employees. Very excited about that. We're now available from 7:30 a.m. East Coast time to 9:30 p.m. 363 days a year. We take off Christmas and Easter. The information you're about to hear is for entertainment purposes only. And our phone number is 201-663-0935. 201-663-0935. Our website is dentalpracticeguide.com. Dentalpracticeguide.com. Name of our company is Healthcare Practice Sales, LLC. So anyway, let's get into this. I get these calls all the time. What value can you put on my empty dental office that's fully equipped? 2 operatories, 3 operatories. Equipment is, somewhat older, 20 years old, 25 years old. And maybe the practice was grossing $200,000-$300,000 at one point. But now for the last year, there's been no patients. The place is pretty much closed down. They've kept the phone lines open. They say they stay in contact with the patients themselves. But I say to the doctors, what was your gross income last year? And they say like $20,000 or $18,000. I said, well, really the value of the practice is what the revenue that comes in. And they said, yeah, but these people just didn't come in because it wasn't open. Doesn't have more value. I said, well, not necessarily. I said, it is expensive to build. And that in itself makes your office a great bargain because everything's there. The walls are in, the plumbing's in, the permits are done, everything's done. So that gives it some value there. The problem is the millennium or the young buyer is going to want to most likely change everything in the office, or at least do decorating. Now, they'll save a fortune because they can start working right away. The value of your patients that haven't been in for a year, there is value there because certain patients will come back. And then there's others to say that the value has dissipated. It's not there, but there is some value. But it's usually based on the gross income from the tax returns. So in a situation like this, though, the doctor hasn't practiced in a year, as far as transferring the practice to somebody else, although that doctor wants to sell it, but as far as transferring it to somebody else, it'll have, minimal value because they don't know who's going to transfer or not. And they don't want to take over your space because it has been closed for so long. There's a lot of speculation there. So I don't have an answer what to do for you on some of those doctors. But as far as a response to the seller, what is the value of it? Well, you've got to poll who's going to buy it. It's going to be somebody who wants to open a satellite office or a young doctor that's just getting out of school. And those young doctors that do want to build from scratch, they get a huge bank loan. It's like up to $600,000, I think, with Provide Bank because they know they're good for the money, and they will utilize those monies to get the best equipment they can, the best location they can. So the answer is, young millennium may not want to take over your space because he doesn't want to be in your location, doesn't like your equipment, doesn't like the layout. If he's going to build a practice from scratch, what essentially yours would be, except you have all the physical facility there, he'd be better off or she'd be better off in their mind, not my mind, but in their mind, just starting a practice, a new fresh startup. That's the way they think. And when I said, and I mentioned this before in a previous tape, when I say, well, wait a minute, they're already $400,000 in debt. He says, well, we add another $500,000, and a lot of them don't have a problem with it. I don't know what's going on there, but that's what the bankers tell me. So they just want it their way when it comes to opening up a practice from scratch, which essentially yours, the doctor, was be, because you're not going to get much for it. There's just not a lot of money involved in an office that's finished and turnkey position. Usually has some issues, has some problems, and 25, 30, I can't even put a number on it. I had one in a town adjacent to me in New Jersey. It was an affluent town that all the bankers would live in, and Wall Street people would live in. I mean, there was 5 operatories, a little run down, but the doctor owned the building. Three of the 5 offices had equipment in it, the operatories. I couldn't sell it for $19,000. I don't know whatever happened to it, but it wasn't moving. So that's what happens to younger people with a beautiful facility. They just don't think it's worth the investment. I don't know. That's what we're learning from the street every day. This business changes all the time. Thank you.